Hey guys, it's Stephen here back with another video, and finally we got the long-awaited news about Aymeric Laporte. We're going to discuss his injury today, the permutations of it, how long he might be out for, all that kind of stuff, how we could step in and maybe solve this situation. And it's not great news, but it's not awful news at the same time. But before I go into that video, I want to say thank you to OneFootball as ever. You know the drill by now. Go and give OneFootball a download in the link in the description. That is literally, once again, where I got the update today. I got a notification through on my phone. It buzzed while I was in work. I had a quick glance at it because it was there charging at the side, and I saw the details, so I hopped online to check it out. Thank you OneFootball for letting me know about this, but go and download it. It helps to support this channel. It's a fantastic app and it's free. What more can you possibly want? But yeah, Manchester City have confirmed Aymeric Laporte's injury. Now I'm going to read the statement out from the website. It says Laporte has undergone surgery on his knee after damaging his cartilage and lateral meniscus during Saturday's win over Brighton. The surgery, carried out by Dr. Roman Cugat in Barcelona, was successful, and a more detailed prognosis will be provided in due course. Everyone at City wishes Aymeric a full and speedy recovery. So he's got damaged his cartilage and lateral meniscus. Now, the first thing to say from that is, thankfully, it isn't the ACL that we were all fearing. The likelihood that is this is basically not a season-ending injury. Now, obviously, loads of people have been going around and trying to work out what this kind of injury this is. One thing I found pretty interesting is Ben Dinnery, who's an injury analyst, whatever that means. He's a guy, I think he works for the Premier League. He also works for physioroom.com and all that kind of stuff. He basically has a lot of interest in injuries professionally, I guess. He pays attention to this kind of stuff, and his prognosis based on what he knows about these kind of things, because he obviously pays attention, is around 3 months for basically this kind of thing. Obviously it depends if it's a tear, depends how damaged the cartilage is. We don't really know the full extent of it, so we haven't fully got the prognosis yet in terms of the timeout. But these things can solve themselves. They can solve their own problems. They can heal pretty quickly if we're lucky. And 3 months, if it is 3 months, 3.5, 4 months, I thought it was going to be potentially a season-ending injury. This could be the best of a pretty bad situation. Obviously, we all want him to be only out for a couple of weeks or whatever, or just be totally fine. I think it was pretty obvious, given where the knee injury was and all that kind of stuff, and given how much pain he was in, that it was going to be serious. But I think we have dodged a bullet here. Now, it's never good to lose someone like Laporte, but based on what a lot of people are saying, and based on this Ben Dinnery fella on Twitter, it could only be 10 to 12 weeks. Some people saying 8 to 10. Obviously, there's also then a match fitness kind of element to that, so you can get over and all that kind of stuff. But this is the kind of thing that'll be around Christmas, So we're in September now. September, October, November. Maybe back around Christmas time would be pretty good. And it's also worth bearing in mind that during now and then is 5 to 6 weeks of international breaks to happen. So isn't actually that many games. And I look at the fixtures now. So say he was back around Christmas. We obviously got Norwich when we come back. These are all games, in my opinion, that we can manage. So Norwich, Shakhtar, Watford, Preston, Everton, Dynamo, Wolves, Palace. Then we've got Atalanta, which is pretty tricky, but Aston Villa. Then we've got Southampton, Atalanta again. Then the big one in November, which he's probably going to miss if we're being totally honest, is Liverpool away. Then we've got Chelsea as well straight after that. So we've got those 2 games there back to back. Then we've got Shakhtar, then Newcastle, Burnley. We've got the Manchester Derby at home. We've got the Etihad in the start of September, then Dynamo. And we've got Arsenal, so it gets a bit more tricky around here. But it is only a small chunk of the season. Well, it's a pretty substantial chunk of the season, but it isn't the end of the world. So we could basically get over this. It isn't ideal, of course, but I'm not going to panic too much. I'm not going to throw the toys out the pram, because I was expecting him to be out until March or April, something like that. And what could happen here is that he doesn't play for a little bit, but then he comes back totally ready, and he's back for the rest of the season. The important time of the season, the time of the season where you win trophies and all that kind of stuff. Some people have been asking on Twitter, do we think we'll sign someone now? Honestly, I don't think we will, because I think he'll be back playing by then. I think any centre-back signing will become in the summer. I don't think we'll rush through. I don't think we've even got the squad status, the squad places to even sign someone. In fact, we certainly definitely haven't got anyone to replace him with. So I don't think we'll be signing anyone. In terms of the solutions for now, well, I guess it's going to be Stones and Otamendi. Stones, it is back in training now, so he'll be back for the Norwich game. And people are saying, oh, that's really worrying. And I understand that, but it's worth bearing in mind Stones and Otamendi would walk in pretty much every single team in the Premier League, more or less. Apart from maybe a couple, they are still better centre defenders than most of this league has got. And also, like the first half of that, the basis of that 100 Centurion point season was built on Stones and Otamendi before Laporte was even a Manchester City player. So there's a lot of disrespect being thrown around towards those two. I know Otamendi's a little bit older and all that kind of stuff. I know Stones hasn't fully progressed and is injury prone. But if those two stay fit for a couple of months, which is very possible, they are more than good enough to handle some of those games that I listed up before. This isn't an insane fixture list. It isn't our busiest time of the season. So we can deal with this. And then also we know that Fernandinho will be totally fine against some lesser teams in defence if needs be. Walker could play there. Cancelo could do pretty well, and Walker could step into the field, so into centre back, and we could have maybe a free at the back kind of scenario. Mendy might even be back by then, so we can play 3-5-2 and be a lot more solid defensively. You can even maybe see Eric Garcia get a game or two in the Cups to see how he gets on. So I don't think it's panic stations. It's not ideal because he's more or less irreplaceable the way he plays. But it isn't also a horror show that we were all fearing that it could have been. And understandably, people were very, very worried. I was very, very worried. But we can manage this, you know? We can manage this. We've actually been very, very good and won lots of games without Laporte before, so we can do it again. I'm not going to say that Manchester City's season depends or hinges on this injury. We've got the best manager in the world. We've got an incredible squad full of incredible players. And as long as we keep the ball the best we can do and minimise the amount of chances created, then we should be okay defensively. Like, our midfield is going to have to be ultra sound, and I reckon Guardiola will take that into consideration. I think he'll play with that in the back of his mind, that maybe we're going to be a little bit more exposed defensively without Laporte there, so we'll have to adapt our style to be a little bit more solid, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the long and short of it is that lots of people, lots of injury analysts, and a lot of people saying around that it could be 10 to 12 weeks. There is obviously the Mendy factor. Mendy did pick up that injury himself last year, then was out for absolutely ages. It's worth saying that Mendy also had some knee injuries as well, so his body's all askew, and injuries in one part of the body can affect injuries in another part of the body, and it was actually in the knee around there. So Mendy's not been right for ages. I got a feeling that they maybe rushed him back a little bit too quickly, or he didn't read the signs, or his body was a little bit weaker somewhere else, which caused that to go. You can't really compare Mendy's body with Laporte's body. Two totally different circumstances for players with very different injuries in their bodies, all that kind of stuff. So you can't really put that and say, well, that's a basis for that. What you can do is look at the general prognosis of loads of people with a similar diagnosis to that and form an estimation. And most people seem to say around 3 months, which could be a little bit longer. It could be around 4 months or whatever. But either way, he'll be back. He'll be back around the new year at very latest. He'll be back playing football, fingers crossed, unless there's any complications. We don't know that, of course, yet. But I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to worry, because Laporte will be all right, and we will get on with it, and we'll still keep winning games. I'm not going to accept that we will also struggle massively, because we're more than just one player. He's fantastic, and he's our best defender. But we can get on with him. We can get on without him. We're Manchester City. We're a collection of individuals, and we'll work hard, and we'll still win games. Anyway, guys, let me know what you make of that in the comments below. I'm off to Vancouver tomorrow, to Canada, to go and have a holiday. I will still pop online every now and then, do the odd video to camera. It won't be quite as detailed as some of the videos usually are, but I will keep in touch with you guys. But don't expect loads and loads of videos, I reckon, while I'm out there. For now, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm like 50 subscribers off 30k. Someone please get me to 30,000. It's been driving me mad. Make sure you like and comment as well, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you very, very soon.